Easier, multiplying by 10 or measuring by the length of your foot? Multiplying by 10, obviously, but some people insist in retaining leagues, hogsheads and cubits. Trevor Bromby has made peace between the metrics and the imperialists. Trevor, thank you for joining us. What have you invented here? What have you created?
Well, I think that even now, for the last 30 years and the next 30 years, there's going to be confusion between different generations of imperial and metric measurements. So I took the time out to devise a simple method of looking from the left to the right or the right to the left and getting a perfect
So it's a conversion table between imperial and metric.
Yeah.
They've been around for a while, but your invention is different. What's different about the Bromverter, the Bromverter?
Well, a lot of it, the conversions, will be in a book this big. Right. It'll be on the back page.
You just got a great big sheet like this.
It'll be on a jug.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a lot easier looking left to right than trying to make sense of something like that, which I can't. And it's invaluable for people on building sites. It gives the different size of drill bits, an eighth being 3 millimetre, 3/4 being 19, so that a young person and an old person can converse and get them. And this is going to go on for the next 30 years until my time died out.
Well, you reckon that imperial measurements are going to continue to be with us until, what, a generation born in the 50s?
I believe
has
so,
departed.
Yeah.
Do you miss the imperial measurements? Do you think we should have kept them?
I'm indifferent to it now because the metric is so simple, with everything being in tens. I mean, you've got things here like nobody in the metric world would know what an oz, a lub, a st, or a quart is. It's an ounce, a pound, a stone, and a hundredweight.
Right.
But I would know.
A quart is a hundredweight, is it?
CWT is a hundredweight.
Okay.
And so, apart from the conversions, I've put down what all these different things mean in measurement and in weight and liquid measures. The conversions for everything that is converting is on there. You don't have to carry a jug around where.
There's an argument that the imperial measurements are more convenient. We should have just kept them because an inch is the length of the knuckle of your thumb, and a yard is a step, and I think a cubit is the distance from your finger to your elbow. Anyway, all the measurements are easily relatable because an average-sized man, it's bits of his body. A fathom is an arm span, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, if I was going to buy something by the length, I'd take the biggest fella that I knew because I know that his arm would be longer than mine, and his thumb would be longer, and you just won't get an accurate measurement. Whereas you do with the metric, but until the imperial dies out, there's still going to be confusion between young and old.
But there are still going to be some things forever imperial. I'm thinking of beer, pints.
Pints, yeah.
Well, that's not going to change, is it?
Hopefully not, because I find it easier to drink a pint than a litre.
Well, I don't know, it takes a little longer to drink a litre than a pint, perhaps. These are very convenient, and you've got a key ring size one as well.
Yeah.
You've written to the Secretary of State for Education about these. You want to put them in schools?
Yeah. I did hear on the news that last autumn they were going to start bringing imperial back into the curriculum because they recognised the problem I recognised 2 years ago. And so I wrote to the Secretary of State for Education, and he wrote back to me and said, "What a good idea. Have you tried schools?" It was then that I lost interest in them until your programme came on, and I thought, I'm going to try them again. And hopefully somebody will see the value in these and everybody will be happy. Every school kid should have one. And everybody on the building site should have one.
And the great value of it is it's a translation device because it's the old generation and the young generation, and there's a point at which they simply don't understand each other. You've had examples of this yourself? Yeah,
I used to work in the building trade, and sometimes you're working 40 foot up on a scaffold and you shout down, I want 3 inches off this, and back, can I have a metric?
And it comes out
and
wrong.
It gets lost in translation, and you either get a lump too big cut out or too small. And
Trevor, thank you very much. Thank you for bringing on your converter.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely lovely. That's all for today. If you have any stories for us, then please email news@estuary.tv, contact us via Twitter or Facebook, or give us a call on 01472 315561. Until tomorrow, goodbye.